Good morning. It's Wednesday, October 29th, National Cat Day. Now, this is like the 17th cat celebration day of the year. Ruth, be honest. Did those coding classes I got you last year for Hanukkah finally pay off? And now, the news. Starting in Gaza, where after accusing Hamas of breaking the ceasefire deal and staging the discovery of the body of one of the hostages, Israeli forces have carried out what Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called, quote, immediate, powerful strikes in the Gaza Strip. As the country's defense minister, Israel Katz, said Hamas would pay a, quote, heavy price. As of this recording, at least 20 people have been killed in the strikes, women and children among them. Hamas will not be the only one paying for the price. They won't even pay the highest price. On Tuesday, the same day that this was happening, so it's not like he said this and then, boy oh boy, does he have egg on his face. On the same day that this happened, Veep Vance said that he still feels confident that the ceasefire will hold, but, quote, that doesn't mean there aren't going to be little skirmishes here and there, end quote. Skirmishes. At least 20 people have died. And in international waters, 14 more people have been killed as Pete Hegseth announced that 4 more boats were struck in the eastern Pacific Ocean. This is the largest single-day toll since this whole mess began. Once again, no one has provided any evidence that these boats are actually carrying drugs or drug smugglers. They're not arresting anyone. They're not questioning them or asking them who's in charge. They are not trying to figure out how to get to the root of the problem. They are just doing murder. And why do I say that? Why do I just say it exactly like that? Because the President of the United States is also saying it exactly like that. Quote, I don't think we're gonna necessarily ask for a declaration of war. I think we're just gonna kill people that are bringing drugs into our country, okay? We're going to kill them. They're gonna be like dead, end quote. Imagine saying that to a cop. A declaration of war requires congressional approval. Even if he doesn't think that he wants to, declare a war, he very clearly believes that a crime is afoot, and that requires judicial intervention. But that would also require evidence, which he has failed to produce thus far. So maybe there's a reason that he does not want to have judicial intervention. Because maybe he has yet to find the evidence. He's just doing murder on vibes. 57 people have been killed so far in these boat strikes. And in Texas, the stars at night are big and involved in a suit against Tylenol. Somehow now, I guess. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton has filed a suit against Johnson & Johnson, the makers of Tylenol, saying they failed to warn folks against the risks associated with taking Tylenol while pregnant, adding, and it's my job to be a risk to people while they're pregnant. Remember the time that a woman needed an abortion to save her life, and Ken Paxton wrote letters to hospitals threatening the doctors with, lawsuits if they provided her with the abortion that the state said she should be able to get? And then when she was forced to leave the state to get the abortion that she needed, he still threatened the woman? And so an incredibly private and painful moment was forced to become a headline for months? Do you remember that? That's Ken Paxton, the protector of pregnant women everywhere. The suit here is because Health and Human Services Director RFK Jr. Kirst Sentence told the world that Tylenol causes autism. Before I continue, let me be absolutely clear. There is no evidence of this claim. No study has conclusively shown this, while other studies have proven otherwise. Tylenol is the only thing in small doses that folks can take for pain while pregnant, so of course they're going after it. Autism, the root cause of it, and ways to prevent it should be looked into. Not by this administration, that's for sure, but in general, we should know more about autism and how it occurs. Something like this doesn't actually do that. It sets back actual science, and in addition, it hurts people with autism because it ostracizes a community by making it seem like it must be avoided at all costs, which is not true. But Ken Paxton is running for Senate, so he's going to use headlines like this. He's going to do whatever it takes. He does not care who gets hurt in the process, so he can get a little bit of attention. Ken Paxton, never not the worst. I don't know what his campaign slogan is, but dude, if you don't have one yet, no, I don't care. I don't want to help you at all. Ugh. I don't like him. I don't know if I've made that clear yet. I feel like I've been neutral on him, but I am not a fan. Listen, before I make this next joke, please understand that in no way do I want Ken Paxton to win this election. That being said, that dude would fit right in the Senate. Welcome to day 29 of the government shutdown, baby. The 13th budget vote failed in the Senate. I mentioned in yesterday's episode that SNAP benefits will not be able to be delivered on the 1st if this keeps up. Well, on Tuesday, 25 states, as well as DC, filed suit against the administration to keep SNAP benefits funded. The suit argues that the law requires the government to make sure that the approximately 42 million people who depend on SNAP for food are able to access those funds. Also on Tuesday, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said that he would introduce a bill to make sure that SNAP, as well as WIC, would remain funded through November. Before I continue, I saw a video about a couple things that you can do to make sure that if you are able to donate to a local food pantry to make sure that folks in your community have food, here are a couple ways to make sure that your money goes further. First, if you're able to donate money would be better because food pantries often have contracts with vendors, so your money will go far, but their money can go further because they're a nonprofit, and also their contracts they're probably able to buy more because they get it in bulk and they already have a contract set up. So whatever they are able to spend there, they can probably just get more. Also, if you are actually buying food that you want to take to a pantry or you want to donate in general, remember that your food items are not always going to be items that are cooked by adults. They will sometimes be cooked by children as well. So keep in mind that the food that you donate should be things that are easy and safe for kids to make, things that can be microwaved. If you're going to donate canned goods, get the cans that have the pop tops, not things that need an actual can opener, all that kind of stuff. Just some tips if you are able to donate to a food pantry. Meanwhile, the House remains closed so that Speaker Johnson can protect the privacy of Jeffrey Epstein and everyone connected to the most heinous crimes, including possibly the president, which is alleged, but also a good guess because they were, by their own admission, best friends. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene has had enough. On Tuesday, Marge posted that she has no respect at all for the House not being open, and that even though Speaker Johnson says he has some magical plan for healthcare that will allow for affordable healthcare for Americans once they get rid of the ACA, she says that she has yet to hear it despite demanding to hear it. Quote, Johnson said he's got ideas and pages of policy ideas and committees of jurisdiction are working on it, but he refused to give one policy proposal to our GOP conference on our own conference call. End quote. I don't know how to react to this. This is good? This is a good? No. This, I was doing a character. This is good. This is a good thing to have done. I said this yesterday about Kevin Kiley and his little swoop. We got to call out good when we see it because it encourages good behavior. This is good. Don't be afraid to call out your own party. We do it all the time. That's why we lose so often, but still we get to feel superior in our losing. Look, being happy that someone does one thing right doesn't mean that we suddenly have to like all of them. Marjorie Taylor Greene has done some absolutely horrific and vile stuff. She has been racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, transphobic. She is all the ists and phobics. She bullied the Parkland survivors. She blamed climate change on Jewish space lasers. The stuff that comes out of her mouth is bad. But what she did on Tuesday, calling out her party, was the right thing to do. And if we don't celebrate when people do the right thing, if we just say that she is net bad, she's bad overall, and even the good is bad because it came from her mouth, then there is no room for growth. And so she will see that there is no reason to try to be better. And maybe it's the optimist in me, or maybe it's just that I have this wild belief that it would be better if fewer people were racist, sexist, homophobes. But I would like to believe that if she can see that she can also get attention for being and doing good, there can be hope for her as well. I will not ever celebrate a single vile thing she says. I will not hear her say something like that and think like, oh, well, she didn't mean it. She's trying. She's a whole adult. Adults need to own their language and their decisions. But it is not too late to do the right thing. It is not too late to try. And even small decisions in the right direction deserve at least like a small clapping hands emoji. We have to make room for nuance. We can still disagree with somebody at every single turn. This is not, I heard somebody talk about meeting in the middle. Sometimes there are things that we can meet in the middle on. Somebody like Marjorie Taylor Greene, meeting her in the middle means that you have to take steps over to her side, and her side has some pretty, like I said, abhorrent and vile stuff in it. You don't need to go meet her in the middle, but if you can just stand firm in your beliefs and encourage her, and people like that on over, by encouraging when they make good decisions, maybe that helps. Why not try? We have to have room for nuance. We could be better than them. And that's it. That's the lecture. I mean, news. I'm proud of cats. Ruth, did you get into my script again? Huh? Guys, am I lame? If you're only listening to this on the podcast, what you don't know is that I picked up my cat, brought her into the video. She did not enjoy it. She's back. Ma'am, she is back. Am I lame? No, I'm kidding. I have a news podcast that I do for fun. Of course I'm not lame. I am proud of cats. I'm proud of Ruth, but I can't say I'm more than Ruth. She's staring right at me. More than oatmeal. It's National Oatmeal Day. And because you are not boring, I'm proud of you. Do your purse in the microphone. Cheat out. Do you have anything to say?